Happy New Year! I wanted to start off the year by reviewing a book that was recommended to me called Into the Magic Shop. This book is about a boy named Jim whose life is changed forever one summer when he wanders into a magic shop and meets a woman named Ruth, who teaches him a series of exercises that he then uses over the course of his life to overcome suffering and to manifest everything that he's ever wanted. The magic that Ruth teaches Jim essentially boils down to three things: relaxing the body, taming the mind, and opening the heart. And she teaches him this through focused meditation. What I found most intriguing about this book is that the author, the young boy in the magic shop, grew up to become an incredibly successful neurosurgeon. I'm a huge believer in meditation and all the things that Ruth was teaching Jim, but I had never heard these topics discussed so passionately and clinically by a medical doctor. If you've seen my other book reviews, you know that I do things a little differently. My videos are purposefully only 2 to 3 minutes long, which is definitely not long enough to do any book justice. My intent with my book reviews is really to share the 2 or 3 points that resonated the most with me. And the first of these points is this notion that we all have voices in our heads. The voices that tell us that we're not good enough, the voices of self-doubt, the voice of self-pity. What's important to note is that those voices are not you. The real you is the person listening to those voices. So when you hear people talk about emptying your mind or quieting your mind, you're literally trying to turn off those voices in your head that aren't helpful. Ruth taught Jim how to quiet his mind with repeated practice. And that brings me to the second point that really resonated with me, which is that we have enormous power to both control and to change our brain chemistry. The brain is molded by experience, repetition, and intention. So if we train ourselves to sit still and to not constantly be listening to that internal monologue, we can physically change our brains to become calmer, more focused, and happier. But the part of this book that struck me the most is the fact that changing your heart is just as important as changing your brain when it comes to creating the life that you want. I mean, this is a brain surgeon talking about the importance of the heart and how we need to practice love and compassion to manifest our dreams. He explains how even the Egyptians revered the heart way more than the brain. That's why when they embalmed pharaohs, they would suck out the brain through the nose and discard it, but they would preserve the heart because that's what was used to weigh the soul for the afterlife. Of course, he isn't suggesting that the heart is more important than the brain. He's simply arguing that, believe it or not, your heart is just as much an organ of intelligence. And in order for you to have success and happiness, both your mind and your heart need to work together. Jim's brain, his intelligence, his IQ, his hard work, is what got him into medical school and lifted him out of poverty. But it wasn't until he started living a life that was rooted in love and compassion and joy that he found true wealth. I encourage you to check out this book if you want some inspiration to start off this new year. Whatever your resolutions and dreams are this year, know that you possess the ability to control your thoughts, to literally change your brain, and to bring everything that you want into existence if you open your heart. And that to me is pretty magical.